Welcome to this video. This is a series of videos which is on accounting and bookkeeping. Today we will talk about subsidiary books. Before listening to this video, you should have already completed the prior video which is on journal. So we will continue from what we spoke last in journal. Um, so what is subsidiary books? So journal, as I mentioned earlier, is the book, the primary book in accounting. If you need to know one thing in accounts, it is how to pass a journal entry. And the book in which all the journal entries are passed is called the journal. Now, from a practical point of view, it is not very easy to go on endlessly passing journal entries for every transaction. So, in a business, you have day to day transactions where you could have 5 transactions in a day, you could have 20 transactions in a day, you could have 100 transactions in a day. For a very large business, you could have thousands of transactions in a day. So, journal entry is a little cumbersome, it is little detailed and not very easy to do that. So, from a practical point of view, to make sure that day to day accounting is simpler, quicker, easier, more efficient, a concept of subsidiary books has been created. Now, a subsidiary book is considered to be like a journal, a book of primary entry. So, it is where for the very first time a transaction is recorded in your books of accounts. Okay, and a book in which is not primary, it is called secondary book. That is a ledger. We will talk about that in a separate lecture. Subsidiary books like journal is called a book of primary entry, which means for the very first time a transaction is recorded in the books of accounts of the business. So it is nothing but an extension of journal, the subsidiary books. So on a day-to-day basis, the transactions which need to be recorded for a typical business, right? And a typical business means one in which certain goods are being purchased and sold, right? So what are the typical day-to-day transactions, right, for such a business? Those are the specific 4 categories of subsidiary books. The first category is the cash book, is what includes bank, right? So when you say cash book, it doesn't mean only currency cash, it also means bank. And now you will also realize why I've always been saying that money when I use when I'm thinking aloud on a journal entry, I don't say cash, I don't say bank, I say money. Money could either be in the form of cash or it could be in the form of a bank balance. So cash book is the first type of subsidiary book. The second type of subsidiary book is what people like to call as a credit book, or I would call it the goods book. But essentially, what we are talking here is goods that have been sold or purchased on credit, not by cash, because an entry which is by cash will be posted in the cash book. Okay, so we are talking about the purchase and the sale, right? So it's called the credit book, or it is called the goods book, which is again divided into the type of the transaction. So the two primary types are purchase and sale. So you have a purchase book and you have a sales book, and the special category within that is purchase returns and sales returns. So you have purchase return book and you have sales return book. So these are the 4 books under this second category. The third category is bills receivable and bills payable, which is not part of the syllabus for standard 11 for a preliminary accounting course. So we will not talk about it, just understand that bills receivable and bills payable, just as the term you can understand it for now. And the fourth is the journal in itself. Okay, so these are the 4 categories, and these are entries which are passed in these books on a day-to-day basis. On a absolute recurring day-to-day basis, entries are passed in these books of accounts. While when you talk about the primary journal, this is not used for day-to-day accounting. Primary journal is used when you need to close your books. As an initial student of accounting, for you, books are closed at the end of the financial year. In practical accounting, often books are closed on a monthly basis, on the last calendar day of the month. So you would pass journal entries only on the day of the book closing, and these subsidiary books which we spoke about, cash book, the purchase sales registers. These are recording day-to-day transactions, and you know then they are posted into the secondary books, which is the ledgers, which we will talk about in a separate chapter. Now coming back to the concept, right? So this is a concept lecture. So when you are posting entries in the cash book or in the purchase sales registers, these are only one side of the transaction is what you record in these books, right? Because the opposite side is always constant. So when you are dealing with cash, when you're making a cash book, either debit is cash or credit is cash and nothing else, right? So this makes it simple, right? You are not going to write the whole entry down. You're only going to write down what is the opposite side of the transaction, right, in the subsidiary book, in the cash book, right? So cash book is very, very simple, right? You have the debit side and the credit side. It is in a T format, right? On the left hand side you will write down the debit, and debit of cash happens when you receive cash. So on the left hand side is incoming money, and on the right hand side is credit, which is outgoing money. Okay, cash book is further divided. You could have just a single column cash book, you could have a double column cash and bank book. So you have one column for bank and one column for cash, both on the left side and on the right side. And then you have petty cash book. Petty cash book is important. So in a business you have the main cash box, which is managed by either the owner of the business if it's a small kind of an entity, or it is managed by the main accountant, or the main cashier, right? And there's a lot of money in and out, right? Because you're selling goods, you're receiving money in cash. It could run into large amounts of money. Certain controls need to be maintained there so that there is no theft and there is no embezzlement. So main cash, there are very good controls on it. And then on a day-to-day basis, there are small expenses which need to be incurred, depending on the size of the organization. So, but that is a small fraction. So that is called petty cash. Petty cash is, given at the start of the month to the accountant, and he will maintain the record. He will maintain all these expenses in the petty cash book. So that is the equivalent of buying some stationery, getting some postage and courier, making payments for conveyance, for traveling of people, of staff, that is. So all these are petty cash expenses. These are not very significant. They are not the main reason why you are running the business, but to run your business you need to incur some of these expenses. So that's petty cash book. So like I said, cash book is divided into your main cash book, which is further divided into cash and bank in two columns. Then you have the other section, which is petty cash, and petty cash also has two subsections. One is the petty cash book, simple petty cash book, and the second is the multi-column petty cash book. We will do a separate lecture on the cash book. So the greater detail will come in there. At the concept level, you just need to understand that these are subsidiary books. These are called primary books, right? The first time a business is accounting for a transaction, it is always recorded in the primary books. This is the subsidiary books, what we call as. This is the books of primary entry, and these are done on a day-to-day basis, whereas the journal entries are passed only on the day the books are closed. Examples of journal entries will be outstanding expenses which have not yet been paid on that date, depreciation entries which need to be recorded because there is no external entity with whom we are transacting. For these kind of transactions, you need to pass those entries specifically in your journal. So that's it for this lecture. We will do two more lectures on subsidiary books, one for cash and one for goods. So look forward for those two other lectures. And if you like this concept lecture, this is a concept lecture. Remember that this is not getting into the details of everything. This is assuming you have got some basic knowledge and you want to refresh it, and that's a concept lecture for you. So there are various other lectures on my channel. Most of them for now are concept, and do listen to them. If you liked this video, please press a like. If you have questions, put comments, and do share with other friends who are interested in learning, and subscribe. Thank you for now.